I want y'all to look at this video.
President Trump, we as Muslims stand with President Trump. Good afternoon, Michiganders. As the president said, we just had a positive meeting with President Trump. We as Muslims stand with President Trump because he promises peace. He promises peace, not war. We are supporting Donald Trump because he promised to end war in the Middle East and Ukraine.
It's just mind-boggling how people can be convinced. And like I have to go back to KD, but I'm not trying to pick on KD. How a black man, it's just we have been so beaten down. And I know that this is the case with a lot of our parents' generation. They grew up in a totally different way. Let me actually hide this for a second. Hold on. So we got to talk about this. Our parents grew up in a totally different way than us, and we have to extend grace in recognizing that. Our parents, our aunties, our grandparents, they grew up with a certain level of fear that was just normalized in their life. And you see it shows up in a lot of different ways. It shows up in something as simple as how you dress. And shout out to my dad. This is my pop's jacket right here. Yeah. But it shows up in how you, even dressing for work. Black people in our parents' generation and our grandparents, they had this mindset that they really felt that there was somebody holding them down and they had to be better than the competition because they're black. They had to dress a certain way and be politically correct and do all these things to adjust, to fit more in to what was deemed acceptable. I don't move around like that. Call it arrogant, call it confident. I don't know. I always tell people, maybe I just haven't been humbled yet. I don't know. But I'm just not seeing life like that. I refuse to see life like that. But that is how our parents and our grandparents, or I should say how our parents were taught to see life, based on survival, based on what they think they needed to do in order to survive, in order to put food on the table. I refuse to see the world like that. I refuse to see myself as a victim. I refuse all these things. But I understand why our parents see it that way. I understand why our parents can be nervous about us speaking on certain things, because when they were growing up and maybe around our age, you could not speak on these type of things because there was this fear that it would turn into something very negative, because they were much closer to maybe when people were being hung on trees at a high rate, when it was Jim Crow, when it was a lot of things that were happening that are not happening now. You could sit here and say, well, this one-off, this happened. Okay, that happened. But it is different. We are living in a different world, and I think any honest person would acknowledge that. We are living in a different world than that. And I don't know. For me, it's just, I refuse to see the world like that. I refuse to jump on and say, so here, let's look what, oh man. Let's get, all right. So KD wrote, Muslim is a religion, but to that point, Trump also implemented a self-proclaimed Muslim ban. KD, if Muslim is a religion, is Judaism a religion? Answer that question. I don't know, right? Or are we saying that are you saying, okay. Mark wrote, a Nazi Trump wouldn't have funded Jesse Jackson's run for president twice. A Nazi Trump wouldn't have sent his private plane out to Nelson Mandela when Nelson Mandela couldn't get around and just tell his family that he could just use it. Trump did not become racist until he started to run for the election. All these people that call him racist, that KD is clearly listening to, those were people that loved him. Loved him. All right, so we got another one. Dennis, Trump said the babbling idiot. So Mark wrote, watch Trump with the young black future leaders and how he encourages them to get politically active and run for office. A Nazi would never do that. It's almost, I'm going to be honest. All right. I have to confess, a lot of this stuff I'm just entertaining just to talk to y'all on the show. To be totally honest, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, we probably shouldn't even be going back and forth with it, because what ends up happening, we just end up spending 40 minutes talking about Trump being a Nazi and fascist. This is what that means, that the liberal mainstream media talking points have won. However, I do feel that it's necessary to address, because it's like, yo, KD, where are you right now? You at work? You getting ready for work? You getting ready for work? If Trump, like, the fact that I have to even say this, and I think Mark wrote it in the comments, or Uncle Brother, somebody wrote it, where if Trump was a Nazi, you wouldn't be comfortable writing the things that you're writing right now. You wouldn't be. And the reason why I say that is based on hearing a lot of the stories of Jewish people and what they got in trouble for and what they were fearful of. And then also understanding from a black perspective in America, what a lot of slaves scared to death to speak on certain things. So it's almost like, all right, so let me move on. Y'all are probably just saying move on. All right, no worries. Let's listen to the rest of this video. I thought that this video was super, this group of support. And it's not just the Muslims in Michigan. But when you look at all these groups that have been a shoo-in for Democrats, whether it's the black men that they're calling out, whether it's the Teamsters labor union, whether it's the Washington Post, whether it's the LA Times, whether it's the Border Patrol. Well, I don't know if Border Patrol typically goes in favor of Republicans. However, you would think that a sitting president and a sitting vice president who's running for president, you would think that they would have good relationships with the current border union, right? Like, you would think that since they're working with them, compared to the racist, fascist Trump, who just got out of office 4 years ago. He was in office, right? And then Biden and Kamala, I know Kamala likes to act like as if she's bringing about some change, as if she wasn't there for the last 3.5 years. But to have Donald Trump get the support of a lot of these different groups, how do you have the support? Not only do the Democrats not have the support of Jewish people, but when you see a video like this, they don't even have the support of Muslims. Now, I know somebody like KD will say, well, that's just the mental gymnastics that Trump is playing on people, because KD is smarter than everybody and he knows that the way he's seeing it is the right way, and that all these people that are leaning in a direction away from Kamala Harris and towards Donald Trump, they're just not seeing the mental gymnastics being played on them. We understand, brother. We understand. But let's just say that that's the case. Let's just say that he is using mental gymnastics. Isn't the thing that you asked for, y'all liberals asked for, is the country to be united? Don't we want a united front? Don't we want to bring people that typically are warring together? Do you think that it's interesting that when Trump was in office, he was able to not have any wars? One of the first presidents to not have a war. He was able to start bringing about peace treaties in the Middle East region. I believe it was with the Abraham Accords. So, and now, after 3.5 years of leadership from Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, now things are in turmoil. Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Palestine. Now Trump is saying that he can go there and solve that. He actually said that he could solve a lot of it before he even actually takes office. But if he's saying that, and we're seeing him at rallies get the support of Muslim groups I believe Michigan is one of the highest Muslim population in the country. So if he's able to win that support and also have the support from Jews who we know are not supporting, or let me rephrase that, from a lot of Jewish and Israeli people who are frustrated with a lot of the super liberal and progressive stances on the Israel-Palestine conflict. I'm not saying that one side is right, one side's wrong. What I'm saying is that Trump is the one that is bringing both sides together, while the Democrats who are actually in office right now, both sides are angry at them. They're playing both sides. They're giving one group guns and the other group sandwiches. It's like, what are we? Let's keep going with the video. My apologies. My apologies. Oh, sorry. Hold on. My fault. I'm over here. I started the
bloodshed has to stop all over the world. And I think this man can make that happen. I personally believe that God saved his life twice for a reason. Good afternoon.
All right. We'll move on. I tell you, what we're witnessing, in my opinion, I don't know if y'all feel it as well, but what we're witnessing is a very unique election and a transfer of power, in my opinion. I don't know if I want to call it some sort of enlightenment, but it seems like a lot of people are waking up. It seems like a lot of people are waking up. It's and it's so funny how KD, he just wrote, "We did have war under Trump." That's another one of his lies. A lot of people accuse him of lying, right? But they never say, you would think that if KD is going to write, that's another one of his lies, KD, you would tell us the war that he's in, right? Just tell us the war. You were supposed to send the link. You never sent the link. You're supposed to send something else 60 seconds ago that I already forgot. And now you're telling us that we were involved in wars, but you didn't actually say the war. But it's like I don't know. All right, we're gonna move on. Mark, man, I need y'all to handle KD, and I can't keep getting too sidetracked. But we appreciate KD. We appreciate KD and his stance. So let me ask y'all another question that I kind of thought about when I was listening or watching all these videos and thinking about all the people that have taken their support from the Democrats. If the Teamsters took their support, huge labor union, right? Huge labor union, didn't support Kamala. Washington Post didn't support Kamala. Typically, I believe the Washington Post and the LA Times typically support Democrats. The Washington Post even came out and said, we're no longer endorsing candidates. Like, damn, Kamala, that's what you did. LA Times, Kamala, this is you were the second in charge in Cali. LA ain't endorsing you. Border Patrol Union, right? Borders are, not borders are. Some people say she was in control of the border. I know she likes to say that, well, she was just responsible for trying to figure out the root of the problem and why people were coming over. I don't know. You got the greatest country, right? We're the greatest country. Why wouldn't people want to get in here? Especially when you take a look at a lot of the things happening in other countries. So I don't know. But the question that I wanted to ask y'all was, if all of these other groups are completely like shifting their stance and going to an entirely different group and going for the fascist, going for the guy that's like Hitler, right? If all these other groups are doing it, why are the Democrats, why is Obama, why is Michelle Obama? And matter of fact, Maya, if you could send me that video, Michelle Obama's speech, that'll be good. I want to highlight that because I took that as very offensive. But when you have all these Democratic leaders trying to call out black men, stop acting like black men are the only group of people that are leaving the Democratic Party. And to be totally honest, the overwhelming majority of black men are still going to vote for Kamala Harris. But notice these are the mental gymnastics that KD won't talk about. Everybody's talking about black men are leaving. So are white men. Young men, young black men, young white men are leaving the Democratic Party, are moving their support. So why is the focus on black men? And it's because, in my opinion, of black men like KD, who and our parents and our grandparents or our aunties and uncles who have just given their support for so long to a group where they've been giving them support without getting anything in return, where they actually, now the group actually feels that we are entitled, like we're entitled to these black people's group, to their black people support. The nerve of these niggas. That's how it comes across when Barack Obama speaks to us, when Michelle Obama is telling black women to go get their husbands right, to go make sure that their husbands are right. Like Michelle, it doesn't work that way. This is the problem. You have a Michelle Obama who's encouraging black women to go talk to black men in their families to ultimately vote for Kamala Harris, not even realizing that the problem in black families has been the lack of male leadership. The lack of male leadership, because Michelle Obama, what did Barack say? It's the pookies that are voting for Donald Trump, right? It's not the intelligent black men that are voting for Donald Trump. It's the pookies. That's what Barack Obama said. So understand their mindset in all this. So then when Michelle Obama tells the women to convince the men, what she's pretty much saying is that, fellas, black men, you're not capable. You're not seeing this the right way. You're not capable of making this decision. You're not intelligent enough to make an informed decision about who should be the president of our country. These are how all these things are connected. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just reaching. Could be. It is what it is. All right, so we're going to go to, hold on. If it's okay, we're going to go to a couple different points of the Joe Rogan on Donald Trump. It's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.